going to be reading my first Read and Learn Bible. Story of creation. God made the earth and the sun. He made the moon and the stars. The sun, the moon, all the stars. God made all the animals and the plants that live on earth. He made man and woman. God looked at all he had done, and it was very good. The story of Noah. Noah was a good man. God told Noah to build a big boat. He told Noah to get 2 of every kind of animal on earth. The boat was big, and it was big enough to hold them all. See that big boat? A storm came, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. The earth was flooded. Sounds like Seattle. When the storm stopped, Noah sent a dove to find dry land. A dove is a bird. The boat landed on top of the mountain. The water was gone, and a rainbow appeared in the sky. It was a sign from God. Noah's family and the animals left the boat. God had saved them from the flood. There's the boat over here, and the rainbow, and Noah and his family, and all the animals. The story of Moses. A woman had a baby boy. The baby was in great danger. His mother had to save him. She put him in a basket and took him to the river. The king's daughter found the basket. The young princess cared for the baby as her own. She named him Moses. Moses grew up to be a strong man. He became a shepherd. Then God spoke to Moses. He told Moses to save his people. They were slaves to the cruel king. God's people ran away from the king, and Moses led them across the desert. Then they came to the sea. God made the sea open up so that the people could cross. God's people were free, and they thanked Moses, their great leader. David and Goliath. Goliath was a giant. He came to fight God's people. The soldiers did not want to fight Goliath. He was too big and too strong. But a boy named David was not afraid. God had blessed David and made him very brave. David stood before the giant Goliath, and he said, "I have come to fight you in the name of God." He threw a stone at Goliath. The stone hit the giant right in the middle of his forehead. He would never bother the people again. David was a hero. Daniel and the lions. Once there was a man named Daniel. Daniel had faith in God. The king liked Daniel and gave him an important job, but other men were jealous of Daniel. The jealous men wanted to get rid of Daniel. They made him go into a pit with hungry lions. Daniel was in the pit all night long, and he prayed to God. The next day, Daniel came out of the pit. The lions had not eaten him. Daniel's faith in God had saved him. Jesus is born. Mary lived in the town of Nazareth. God sent an angel to her. The angel had wonderful news for Mary. She would be the mother of God's own son. It was time for the baby to be born. Mary and her husband Joseph had to travel to the town of Bethlehem. There was no room for Mary and Joseph at the inn. They had to stay in the stable. The baby was born there. They named him Jesus. When he was born, a bright star shone in the sky. The shepherds and the wise men. That night, angels came to some shepherds in the fields. They told the shepherds about the baby, who was Christ the Lord. The shepherds came to worship Jesus. Some kings from the east saw a star. They followed it to Bethlehem. They bowed to the baby Jesus, and they gave him gifts. Jesus does God's work. God had sent Jesus to earth to do good for all people. When Jesus grew up, he told everyone about the power and goodness of God. He told them that God loved them. One day, a woman followed Jesus. She was very sick. She touched his coat. Jesus turned around and he blessed the woman. All at once she felt better. She was not sick anymore. A man who was blind came to Jesus. Jesus touched his eyes with mud. Now the man could see. The sick woman and the blind man were healed because of their faith in God and Jesus. Jesus and the little children, like you and Max, Court. One day, people brought their little children to see Jesus. Some men tried to send the children away, but Jesus loved everyone, big and small, and he told the children to come to him. Jesus blessed the children. He will always be our friend.